I was diving at my dive site on High Rocks on the Clackamas River on July 20th, 2021. It was to be a normal dive. I was using a brand new to me buoyancy compensator. In order to do that, I had to tend to my float line and keep myself from getting tangled. There's quite a bit of current in here, and this helped me to understand what was going on. As I went down the current, I was looking for various things. One of the fun things to do on dives like this is to find fishing gear. And here I found a lure, fishing lure, and decided I'd probably try and get it. As you can see now, in order to do that, I had to get my dive knife out of my leg sheath. So this will be the first time that I've used the pockets for this particular BCD too, buoyancy compensating device. It had pockets on the side, whereas my normal one that I invented myself has a pocket in the front. So it's a little bit different, but it turned out to be pretty easy. And then I started drifting downstream again. I came across something fairly unusual. Take a look. It's a shopping cart on the bottom of the river. Then I got a pull on my mouthpiece and I knew there was something wrong. My Scuba was doing something weird. There's the shopping cart. And I had a good handhold there in the current. But I said to myself, I think my tank has slipped out and come loose. So what to do? I'm on the bottom. I've got a scuba tank that's dangling. It's pulling on my regulator mouthpiece. I'm sitting there in the current trying to figure this out and decide that I need to get into a calmer area. To get a calm area, I head across the river. Now, all the time I'm doing this, my mouthpiece is kind of tugging at me. It's not bad. So in crossing to the other side, I'm finning fairly slowly. You can see I'm not moving real quickly because my tank has dislodged, and every time I move, it's pulling on my mouthpiece. On the other side of the river, there's a rock bluff, and there's also some big rocks hanging out just upstream of me, and they provide a eddy. Somebody's towels on the bottom. There's a bunch of people there. Now, in order to do what I need to do, I'm switching from my primary to my Octopus second stage. What I figure is that rather than surfacing and trying to get out of the water with a tank that's dangling, I'm going to do a Doff and Dawn underwater on the bottom. In order to do this, I need my hands free, so I need to get my float and my float line secured to the bottom. I find a And it's not a log, it's a large limb, wooden limb that is on the bottom, and I secure my line to that limb. Now I've taken the scuba unit off. That's the doffing process. So the scuba is now in front of me. I'm watching, or you're watching this from my helmet cam. So you can see I've also got a little bit of a problem with the line, but there's my scuba unit, and you can see that the tank is completely loose. It's only being held by the valving and hoses that are around that nylon strap. Okay, this is the first time that I've actually dove this unit, and the first time that I've worked with it, and so I'm trying to figure out how this strap works from a position of it having already pulled loose. It's kind of hard to determine, so I'm looking at it, figuring it out, repositioning it. I figure that it's better. I had used the BCD, so I purge it of excess air. That gets it negatively buoyant instead of neutrally buoyant. And I can more easily work with it. Now back to the strap. What to do with this strap? How is it working? Why is it hung up? Okay, I gotta pull this thing down to figure it out. So I'm getting it down below the valving, and I've got a pull rod for the J valve on it, and I'm working through that too. Then I figured that I probably ought not to tangle it with my float line. That's not a good idea, so I separate those two and I move a little bit off to the right. Okay, what to do with this strap? How does it come apart? How do I get this down again? I figure out that it's a Velcro on the left side, and I pull the Velcro and the strap comes loose. Now I can move it. So what I need to do is to move it down back into position where it should be, and then I can put the unit back on. I find out that working it down is not so easy underwater in a weightless environment as it is on the surface. So I've got to brace it against the bottom and then pull down. Again, I'm neutrally buoyant, so it takes a little while to get it in place. Now it's in place, but I still have a problem. The tank strap needs to be tightened. If I don't tighten it, it'll just simply come out again. So how to do that? This is a rather complex buckle system, and I figure out that I've got to unthread part of it, and then tighten it down, and then thread it back through. Once I got that, I can tighten it down. Okay, that's much tighter. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking I can put it back on, so I'm trying to release the lines and get them in position to put it back on. So this is my first donning attempt. Still working on the hoses and making sure that they're in the right position to put it back on. I've got a slight leak on the low pressure line going into the inflator, but it's a no-go for the donning. So I look and I've got an unsecured J-valve pull rod. And I make a mental note, no J-rods with this J-valve rods with this setup. It's not a good idea. So here we go again. This is my second attempt for the donning. I've got my arm through one of the straps and it's going around the back. Oh gosh, it's a no-go. So I need to take my helmet off. Again, I've got my GoPro video on the top of the helmet, and the best way of getting this stuff on, this scuba gear back on, is the over-the-head approach. So here we go. I learned this in the Navy and before that in the LA County course and in my NAWA instructor training. And this is the best way of getting it back on. Throw it over the head, insert your arms through the arm strap, the shoulder straps, and then bring it down. Now I've got one in, now I've got the other one. Now I'm bringing the whole scuba unit down and back into position. Okay, we got it. Shoulder straps are there. Now the first thing I want to do is to secure the waist strap. Here I'm cinching the waist strap and securing it. It's got a one of those new nylon buckles, which I really like. Underneath that is a cummerbund that has a Velcro fastening. So I'm adjusting the Velcro waist strap holder, which goes underneath that. Okay, I'm back in business. Except for one thing. I'm still on my Octopus second stage. So I'm going to get this Velcro fastened and completed here. And then I need to switch to my primary regulator. Now I can't see what you're seeing. Here I'm trying to figure out where my primary regulator is. Usually it's down on the right side. I also have partially flooded mask, and so I needed to clear that. Okay, so what to do? Where the heck is that primary regulator? Thinking about removing my mouthpiece, but I want to get my primary regulator first, so I gotta find it. Also got to clear my mask again. Got a leak someplace there. So I reach back, I find the first stage, and then I find, there it is. Reach back with both hands and I free it. It had been hung up on the valves. I switch to my primary, off and clear it, and now I'm ready, just about ready to go. So now I'm securing my octopus. And it's done. My Scuba Doff and Dawn is done. My tank is now secure and I can continue my dive. And guess what? Oh, first I've got to get my float. So let me undo that. There we go. And I had a witness, a Sculpin. Anyway, that's my Doff and Dawn. Hope you enjoyed it.